Welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
If you like a lot of wrestling on YouTube, join our cult. Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Discord presents the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast. You are looking at Maffew's kitchen, Ross's front room, and Jack's face.
And front room?
And front room, by God.
Way.
And it is on his knees, so you can see the entire area. So, how the hell are you, Ross?
I'm not too bad. Getting more acclimatised to life in isolation. I was struggling early on, but I'm all right now, into a routine. How are you?
Much the same. Thank you very much for asking. I have inserted yoga into my life, and that helps.
That DDP stuff?
Nah, she looks like she's done DDP before, but she's a very friendly woman on yoga.
Is that a wife swap joke?
Yes. And Jack, how are you?
Yeah, this week's been a bit more boring than last week. Last week it was a bit of a novelty, wasn't it? Oh, we can't go outside. This week I'm like, I want to go outside. But apart from that, spot on, can't complain.
Fantastic. Let's crack on with the news because there's a lot of it because there's sod else going on in the world. And Roman Reigns is out of WrestleMania. Hang on.
Right. So this news broke hours after we'd recorded last week's podcast, and I was fuming. Why does this always happen?
I think it's a direct attack by WWE to downplay us.
Yeah.
To be the only logical reason for it.
We are the leading dirt sheet reporters like us three.
That's right.
I don't blame him for coming out and just saying it. WWE haven't, but I don't blame Roman for doing it. Fair enough. Good for him.
I mean, surely they're going to do an angle on SmackDown tonight. It's tonight. It's tonight.
Imagine if they didn't.
That's right.
It would be
imagine if they
good
didn't.
Yeah, it would be so good. Maffew, I've seen you've been quite annoyed on Twitter about them advertising it, and rightly so. But do you want to explain why it's bad practice?
I haven't had a great week on social media, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I'm going to blame the thing that's keeping us all inside. Can't say its name. The Benoit virus. But truthfully, no, it's just been me being a dafty. My routine this past week has been get up, make coffee, watch the wrestling program for the night before, type up my thoughts as they come to my head, and then go do yoga and be good for the rest of the day. Sadly, if you've had a bad night the previous night, been enjoying lots of whiskey supplements, sometimes you can be typing up stuff.
Maffew, it's 3 p.m.
I know, it's my second one. And you can end up typing stuff that you're feeling at that exact moment when you're not necessarily in a good mood. And you can type it up and don't think anything of it. Then you go do yoga, you feel great, think the world is in sync and the karma's at your fingertips and all that love. And then you go back and everyone says, why are you being so salty and miserable, Maffew? And I go, what are you talking about? You silly person, you on Twitter. Silly Reddit. How are they misreading me completely? And you go back on what you've read and go, oh yeah, I do look incredibly salty there. I look like the Dead Sea. So yeah, this has been a fine week for me getting a drubbing and well deserved. But I think we'll just need to learn that because we're self-isolated does not necessarily mean that to get some break from what you're doing doesn't mean you should use an excuse to go to the kitchen to make some more coffee. Say every 30 minutes or so. So, yeah, we've all had a good laugh at our expense this week. Completely deserved. Reddit and Twitter are well deserved.
I don't know what you're talking about. I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, man. I rarely do this, but I had to mute notifications of a tweet, and it was that one. Because the good tweets you do, the tweets that you cultivate and cut out, like, flowers growing in your back garden, they do like 20 likes or 3 retweets. The ones where you look like an arsehole, everybody sees them.
I don't think you look
so,
like
yeah,
one.
I said that it was quite shameless, to be honest with you, for WWE to still advertise Goldberg versus Roman Reigns, but I think I used bad language, and so people basically thought I was going around the house going, bloody WWE! This is the worst thing that happened to current events.
So
and it kind of is, but I could have worded it a lot better, and I just look like an asshole, and it's absolutely fair enough. Yeah, I think they could have probably added something on the end and go, oh, by the way, something's happened. Wait, breaking news. Tune into SmackDown to see what happened. But I overreacted because I've got nothing else to be doing. Anyway,
You've been conditioned to think this way. I'm saying. Because I've been bringing up in my videos for the past week or so, but John Cena at the Royal Rumble of 2019, they promoted him being there right up until the start of the kickoff show. Then they were like, whoops, he's not going to be here. People who have bought this pay-per-view to see John Cena, who we have promoted to be here. So I don't think you're out of order for saying what you said. But again, I think hopefully they will do an angle on SmackDown, because there's no other way out of it now, is there?
That's right. I thank you for your defense. I'm still going to take the L, but I reserve the right to get mad again if they go, Roman Reigns couldn't make it today, so here's his replacement, and Savio Vega walks out with a strip of barbed wire. So, yes, that's the news that we knew last week, but we'll move on from that. Other changes to WrestleMania cards see The Miz being out, but you'll know by now, of course, on SmackDown, when they've hopefully done something. He is out with, I believe, some sort of illness. I think that's how we're getting around that, right? Andrade is out because he's injured for real. And Austin Theory is in. More on that to come. Florida stay-at-home order could affect WWE's weekly TV. Now, this has just happened at the time of the recording. So, Jack, you're the news guy. What is this about?
So the governor of Florida has issued a stay-at-home order for 30 days minimum, which means that if you're not, not essential work, you're not providing essential service, then you shouldn't travel for work. And I don't think, unless WWE can classify themselves as essential, which they'll probably try to, they're going to probably have to try and find somewhere else to record, because obviously they record in Florida in the Performance Center right now. So they'll have to either take a break from the wrestling for a bit, or I think the more likely option, just try and source any venue that they can go to and run empty arena shows for a bit until they're allowed back in Florida.
It's almost as if all these other sports being cancelled, like the NBA, Wimbledon, football, and all the rest. Yeah, someone's realised, hang on, isn't wrestling even more spreading of diseases than, or anything else that it could be, than any other sport in the world right now? Why are they still carrying on as if they can get away with doing live events? This is all wrestling companies right now. When everyone else in the world is told to go home. No, it's all right. Look at my card. It says wrestler, diplomatic immunity.
It's weird, isn't it? It is a bit weird. I don't know the answer.
Any thoughts, Ross?
I just thought it's just made me think of AEW last night when Britt Baker was like, Sheeta, no, stay back, social distancing. She's a bitch for doing that. That's how it works in the wrestling. It's backwards. It's completely backwards.
Triple H reveals that WWE considered postponing or cancelling WrestleMania, but they decided they have an obligation to the fans. Thanks, Tripper.
Yeah. Cheers, Trip. Well, that conflicts with reports that it was just Vince's idea. And I feel like Triple H might be defending his father-in-law a little bit there, but I don't know.
Yeah, sounds about right. AEW announces the TNT Championship Tournament. Cody versus Spears, Darby versus Sami, Dustin versus Sabian, and Archer versus Cabana.
Who could win that last one?
Colt Cabana's not scared.
No, he's not.
Going to take him on.
Oh.
Lance Archer's going to win whether he wants to or not.
Yeah.
And apparently this last bit of news says, unconfirmed reports that Maffew sucks. Ha ha. Oh, thank you whoever writes up the news.
Just a bit of banter to liven the mood there.
Hey, That's what we do here, the banter, lads. Sweet. Well, any other news this week?
Our predictions are out. Yay. Just put the predictions video. Hey, there we go.
Yeah, sod all else. Maffew beat Doom Eternal. Yay!
Well done. Good job.
And that is the end of the news.
Everybody get excited for the Cultaholic Hall of Fame!
Now it's time for everyone's favourite segment, the Hall of Fame. And in condescending order from last week, Tiger King, 27%. Yeah, bastards. Sully, I hate these. Sully the Giraffe, 36%. But way out in front, Jack's mate Gilly, 37%.
Yeah, he deserves that. I'm shocked, I'll not lie. I'm shocked. I thought Tiger King was going to win, or Ross's Giraffe. But well done, Gilly, mate. Check out his band, Home Truths UK. I don't know what to say. Mental.
I don't want to say either. I can think of a few words, but we can't say them on the podcast. So, Jack, as the well-deserving winner of last week, why don't you go first?
This is a serious one.
Oh, no.
Because as I'm sure many of us are aware, the chief songwriter in Fountains of Wayne passed away sadly this week. Yeah, he was called I think it was Adam Schlesinger or something like that. But he wrote many good songs, including That Thing You Do from the film That Thing You Do, Tom Hanks. But I'm going to nominate Stacey's Mom because I think, as a song, it's the perfectly crafted pop rock song. It's got a verse, chorus, guitar solo, key change, and then hand claps towards the end and all like the whoa. So I'm going to nominate Stacey's Mom. It's a bit of a cheeky song. It's a little bit naughty as well, but it's entertaining nonetheless. That's my nomination. The song Stacey's Mom by Fountains of Wayne.
Well, you look like a good 75% of the people in the music video, Jack, so that doesn't surprise me. So...
Well,
a
women.
Child?
Yeah, he means the child's the joke.
No, I don't mean... No, I realised what I said then. No, I meant like that scene and that style and the fact that you have the scene kid fringe.
Oh, right, yeah.
Not that you're a 12-year-old getting with mum, no.
Fountains of Wayne on scene.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me at all either, but...
No. But that's I think it's a great song, and it deserves to be in the Cultaholic Hall of Fame. Lovely.
Do they have any other songs?
Yeah. Loads, but their next most famous one is probably Hey Julie, which is like, hey Julie, look what they're doing to me, trying to pick me up, trying to get me down. That's Hey Julie. Yeah, it's a good song.
That goes na 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 na. Hey Julia.
No, it doesn't.
So, Ross can go second because he came second last week.
Well, after your glowing recommendation on the podcast last week, I spent a solid Friday watching Tiger King. So my nomination for the Hall of Fame is a Mr. Don Lewis.
Can I sit out of this one to avoid spoilers, please? Can I just take my headphones off?
Yeah.
Give me a thumbs up when I'm good to come back.
Okay.
Thank you. One sec.
It's not too. I guess it's not too much.
And that was the end of Jack on the podcast. So carry on, Ross.
I was going to say, people might not know, there's a lady on there called Carol, and there is a story about how her husband went missing one day, and the investigation that took place, and there was a van left at the airport and stuff like that, and the possibilities thrown out there that she fed him to the tigers, and I'm not here to comment one way or the other, but I know how I feel about that. It's presented in a certain way, I guess I'll say that. So in memory of Don, who I don't think was ever heard from again at all. They still haven't found anything. So in memory of Don, I'd like to suggest he go in our Hall of Fame.
Well, a few of the muffled cries of, I'm in the tiger's stomach. But apart from that, he was never seen or heard from again. And yeah, she looks guilty as hell. And there are rumours that Tiger King is getting a second season just because of all the continuing drama. So
I bloody hope so. There are so many questions. Unbelievable. I honestly thought I was tripping on acid. Every single new episode that went off in a different direction you didn't see coming. How I don't understand how that sort of thing can just go on. Unbelievable scenes. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. Unbelievable show.
See, from the voice of God, wherever he is. Sorry, wherever direction Ross is, go listen. And hello, Jack. Yes, we were.
Hello. Yeah, so, I'm gonna catch up on it because it sounds really good from everything that I've heard. Yeah. Sounds not really good, but just really crazy.
It is radio.
Both those things, yeah.
It's two good picks. So last week I did the thing that we do sometimes in the podcast where I look like I'm going to do something nice and then present something a bit daft like Tiger King. And I set up that it was going to be the key workers currently going in the world of the UK and everything else that's going on in the outside world. But I did a little joke and went with Tiger King instead because it's so entertaining. And I got a tweet from somebody who was looking at that going, well, that's nice. You could have done something very profound and good for the people who are struggling out there and decided to be a silly bugger. And I go, maybe he had a point. Maybe you shouldn't take this podcast seriously. But then I went out to Lidl, and in Benwell, very lucky that our Lidl is still regularly open. It's not crazy, it's not being ransacked or anything like that, but you do have to go in one person at a time. So you go there, and there's actually like a squadron of men who are out having tabs while their lasses go and do the shop and they just wait. And I went in, everything normal, got me gloves on, got me little surgical mask and everything, whatever, no issues. And then I had to wait to get served because the guy behind the till was like putting some stuff up, putting the bin upright. I didn't think anything of it, and happened to get served. And I said, "Look, not be dramatic or weird. I just want to say thank you very much for the still doing your job and being all good and that." And he went, "Mate, I really appreciate you saying that because I've just had to break up a fight between one of the customers that came in and him starting to fight one of the members of staff because the guy, the customer was complaining about how there was such little staff on and the queues were so long. And he was kicking off, hands were touched, security was called and all this. And I just went, I can't believe that somebody would do that or not be more patient with people who work in these supermarkets. Because as someone said on Twitter, if Karen in HR can't send her Form 3B to Daz on the second floor, doesn't matter. Nothing happens. But if Lidl and Morrison's and Tesco's and all the people that work in there just stopped, just shut, a lot of people will be knackered. So sincerely, I know I'm not going to do a swerve and say no mercy or whatever. The retail workers in the world right now who are having to put up what I can imagine is the absolute worst of humanity right now. Thank you very much for putting on your gloves, your surgical mask and all the rest and doing what needs to be done. Or people like me would be like, oh, nah, I'll start planting tomatoes in the back garden or something. So thank you very much for working hard. And that goes for security, for people behind the tills, the cleaners, all of you. Thank you very much.
Going to feel bad if my pick wins now?
My pick is not going to win.
Your pick is going to win.
It should win.
Yeah, it should win, yeah. Stacey's mom, though, what a banger.
I
Great
was going
songs.
to say, to recap, that's right, all the retail workers take a minute out and go, Stacey's mom, watch Tiger King. So those picks are the good retail workers of the world, Stacey's mom by Fountains of Wayne, and what's his name from Tiger King?
Don Lewis.
Thank
May you rest in peace.
No, he's
Oh,
down
cheers.
there.
Oh, thank you. Great.
No, it's not. It doesn't. That's not a spoiler.
Oh, okay. Oh,
No, I honestly isn't a spoiler.
No,
but-
it's, just the way it works into the story.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, those are three amazing picks. God, I wonder if you're able to vote for them somehow. Don't worry, lads. Yes, you can. Please go to patreon.com/Cultaholic and you can pledge your votes to see which of those fabulous picks makes the Hall of Fame next week.
This is This Week in the Wrestling. It's this bloody week in the wrestling.
This week in wrestling. Let's go to SmackDown, the land of happiness and make-believe. Drew Gulak beats Nakamura with a little help from Daniel Bryan. And this secures Bryan an IC title shot at WrestleMania against Sami Zayn. Of note in this match was Gulak and Bryan's shoulder thrusts being way more impressive this week than last week after Eugene Igata took to Twitter to laugh at the pair of them. Any thoughts there, Jack?
I just want the match to be given quite a lot of time at Mania because it's Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan. But I'm worried that it's actually going to be a match filled with shenanigans and interference. But I want it to be good, so I hope they give it like 20 minutes. What about you?
Ross?
I think it's going to be. It should be the match of the night if Sami Zayn can wrestle as a wrestler and not like a manager because he was very Bobby Heenan-esque when he won the title. It was all kicks and punches and run away and then kicks and punches and run away. It depends how they let him wrestle, I guess. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it all the same. I can't remember that match from SmackDown, though. I remember Bryan pushing away Gulak, but that was it. That's all you need to know, isn't it, really?
Yeah, he saved him from the Kinshasa.
Yeah.
Elias sings a song mocking Corbin, who attacks and throws Elias off a platform. They're seen straight out of EastEnders.
And Lion King.
And Lion King, yes, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a hot angle. I think the only thing hotter than this was Michael Cole saying, wow, Elias has been taken to a local medical facility. And you're like, well, they're going to tell him to piss off if he does go there, because there's no way he's getting in at the minute. So, but he gave him a Snickers and told the man up. Any thoughts there, Jack?
Just waiting to see what happens on this week's SmackDown, because I feel like Gronk might get involved. Ross?
Yeah, I can't believe this match is still happening as we're sat here on Thursday to peel back the old curtain. Surely, Gronk will replace Elias and it'll be Gronk versus Corbin and Gronk will hit a rock bottom and win or something. And then him and Mojo will drink a lot of things.
That's right. Lots of strinking to be had at WrestleMania. I can only wait for the security guard to show up and escort Gronk out the building again. Alexa Bliss beat Asuka clean. Means the tag title match at Mania. And uproar on certain websites that were still watching this match.
Oh,
Weird
what?
seeing Alexa Bliss beat Asuka in the year of our Lord 2020. Jack.
Yeah, I agree. It is weird, isn't it? But they've just done that thing where they've totally forgotten about the women's tag titles, and then at the last minute they've gone, oh, we need a match for that, with only a few weeks left to go. And now we've got this match. And I think that the title will probably change hands, just to shake things up a bit. What about you, Ross?
Yeah, Nikki Cross was very good on commentary. Her and Michael Cole should have a buddy cop movie made with a pair of them starring in it, I feel. All sorts of japery can be had. But I made it a WTF moment on my crappy video series where it took Becky Lynch a year to do what Alexa Bliss did on a random SmackDown. So Alexa Bliss is a lot better in the kayfabe sense than Becky Lynch, who is the man.
That's right. You heard it here first. Alexa Bliss better than Becky. Who'd you ever beat? Otis and Ziggler are probably going to... No, that's my wrong note. Bray Wyatt says his match with Cena will be a Firefly Funhouse match. Woohoo. What does this mean?
What that is. Don't know what that means. Anyone know? No.
I think the Firefly Funhouse is just left of the Boneyard match. That was the end of the joke.
Oh, sorry, the way that you said that sounded
I know.
There was a punchline.
There was... I was trying... Nothing. Nah, nothing. Sorry. Gone ahead.
I hope it's just Vince's house.
That'll be good.
Just wrestling around Vince's house. Just do that.
Do you think he's letting anybody in right now?
Yeah. Does Vince McMahon believe in the pandemic? I don't think he will.
I don't know why this popped into mind right now, but just the talk of brawling in a house for some reason. Has anyone watched the new Dark Side of the Ring with New Jack?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I haven't laughed at a program as much for a long time. New Jack is unbelievable.
I thought I never realised, and I still don't believe it, when he gets revenge on Vic Grimes and throws him off the scaffold. It's bollocks, that. Vic Grimes does a Jeff Hardy front flip off the scaffold. He wasn't unwilling. Yeah, that's stupid. But apart from that, I like the piano jazz guy who loved him. He was so funny.
What would New Jack make? Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Straight out the can.
What fabulous meal can he make? Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Spaghetti. No, that's good.
No, it was great. And I didn't know that. And this is a first for me, and I thought I knew some drugged up people in my life, but Mustafa Saeed would start off shows by smoking pencil shavings.
Yeah.
Never heard of that before.
No.
If anyone knows the science behind pencil shaving smoking, let us know in the comments below, because I would like to know. Not because I want to do it, I just want to know.
We've got nothing else to be doing right now in the last few weeks. So, WrestleMania review under pencil shaving influence. New Day and Usos ends in a no contest thanks to Miz and Morrison attacking. So the spirit of Teddy Long shows up, even though he's not dead, and makes it a 3-way tag team match. Also a ladder match. But it won't be. So doesn't matter. Don't worry about it too much. And anything else? I think Otis and Ziggler announced that they were going to have their match at WrestleMania, which is probably going to steal the show. But judging by the lineup, it'll be petty theft. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about all the bits. Bray made the smoothie out of his own self-loathing and a carrot to prepare his match with John Cena.
That was the rabbit.
Yes. What did I say?
Carrot.
The carrot. What came first?
Yeah, the carrot
or the rabbit?
Ah, right.
Oh, yeah, the rabbit was in there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And also, John Moxley makes a cameo in WWE backstage by jumping into shot behind his wife with a dog.
Yeah, it was good. Like that.
Shots fired.
Good
like
banter.
Luger in Nitro 95. And also, the unlucky people, the replay on this show was Roman Reigns versus Triple H from WrestleMania 32. And last time I checked,
there.
WrestleMania 32 was still happening. So I'm
Me and
not
Ross were there. Did you go to that one,
poor
Matthew?
get. No.
I've got a soft spot for that Mania because it was our first one.
That's fair enough. I'm sure it was a lot nicer live.
Well, it was nice seeing Shane jump off the cell. That's one of the most outrageous things I've ever seen. Yeah, it was great.
I was going to say,
Happy
for a
men's.
while, that was going to be considered the weirdest WrestleMania of all time because there's so many injuries and weird things they were doing. But I think 2020's got that one sorted out.
Yeah.
Moving on to Monday Night Raw. Undertaker shoots on AJ Styles. Wow, what a great title that would be for a YouTube video. Referring to him by his real name and saying he was happy being a big fish in a small pond. TNA isn't said, but it is heard. And he also gets a good line and goes, what many people have been saying, but it's funny when Undertaker says it. Phenomenal one, my ass. My wife does your finisher better than you.
Whoa!
So you could say that AJ Styles has done it now.
He's gonna make a big mistake. I hope they play that endlessly.
like New Jack. Like New Jack's
Yeah, the whole match.
AJ Styles is looking for Undertaker. Where is he? Looks up.
Undertaker's playing the guitar before he hits him with it.
Who sang that song? Was it just Big Jim and his pals in the WWF studios at the time? Or E? Or was
Sounds
it Natural
like-
Band?
Natural Born Killers.
No, not that one.
Sorry.
It sounds like a bit of a... No, it's not Michael Hayes, is it? He's got more of a soulful voice. He's
could
the big
do.
shows thing.
It could be Michael Hayes.
Mm.
I reckon his pipes have got range, Michael Hayes, depending on how much whiskey and other paraphernalia he's had at the time.
Any pencil shavings he's smoked.
That's right. He's got range. He knows all of the racial epitaphs to sell. Shayna Baszler ambushes Becky Lynch mid-promo. That was as effective as it can be, given the lack of reaction.
Mm.
Yeah, I was shocked they haven't edited the end of 35 last year. You still see that Ronda's shoulders are clearly up. I thought they would have done a bit better job.
No, they have edited it. That's the
Not
edited
very well.
version.
Is
Yeah,
it?
right? There's only so much they could do. I'm amazed they showed replays as well, but they've actually edited the replays as well, so it's from a slightly different angle, and they cut it off, right? Was like, wait, was his shoulder? And then we go to the end of the match. Yeah, it's like, it's noticeable for me being a nerdy get, but I'm sure the untrained eye, it's fine. And it's a shame that looked like it was going to be okay and would give us a reason for a rematch. And then Ronda Rousey went back to her home planet and was never heard from again.
On the stroke of
Weird,
three,
that.
they should have. On the stroke of three, they should have cut to that shot of Reigns waiting for AJ Styles in the 2016 Royal Rumble.
1, 2, and he just cuts to Ronda. Becky Lynch with the titles. I ruined it.
Yeah.
Maffew, you idiot. And then Kevin Owens and the Street Profits beat Rollins, Angel Garza, and Austin Theory. That's right, Austin Theory and Angel Garza. Definitely wrestling Kevin Owens and the Street Profits. No, the Wrestling Street Profits, the titles. Maffew, you're an idiot. Montez Ford dies horribly, doing a dive, and been some speculation about why this was. Jack, why don't you take it away?
So Alvarez was saying online that Rollins
Do it
was
in his
meant
voice.
to. No, I've not got the lung capacity. So no, I can't be doing that. Rollins was meant to dash around the side of the ring and grab Montez's leg before he set off to do the dive, but then apparently Rollins did kind of get there because he's really athletic and nimble and CrossFit. But Montez decided either like, oh, he hasn't grabbed my leg enough, or this is too late, I'm just going to keep going. And then just imagine being Austin Theory in that moment. You don't realise that's going to happen. And a man's flying at you. Montez lands horribly on the ground.
Yeah.
And Austin Theory takes a bump. Even though he didn't touch him. I hope Montez is all right, but I don't think it was Austin Theory's fault, according to Alvarez.
If he wasn't expecting the spot, then fair enough. But
Yeah.
someone said in an interview years ago, I don't know who it was, but they did say, someone was asking him, like, why do you do all these dives to the outside and all that? And they were like, man, when you're in the ring and the adrenaline, you just want to do everything. Like, yeah. Because I was looking like this, well, why is Rollins trying to grab him? He didn't quite, so he went, bollocks, I'll just dive. Wee! It's like, no, we're not ready. Like, I guess that, basically, that's it in living colour right there. Like, yeah, I know you're not ready, but I want to dive. I'm feeling it.
Kofi had one recently as well, didn't he? Where he did the backwards, like...
That was the Miz's fault, that one.
Oh.
That was so bad.
Miz just went...
That must have been, did they plan that? Or is Miz really that? Is he now allergic to bumps?
Hasn't Miz always been notorious for, ironically, not wanting to come into contact with people?
Hey, he was ahead of the curve.
Oh, God. Anyway.
Yeah, the good one. I think wasn't necessarily Ford's fault that Rollins tried to grab him and call a spot and say, wait here, but all he heard was... Edge also cuts a great promo right after Rollins did one on Kevin Owens. The theme of the promo is grit. I liked Edge's line here where he said, "Remember the last time you were this good, Orton? Oh, it was about 9 years ago."
When he
That's
left,
when
that's
Edge
the...
was-
Yeah. Got it. Sneaky.
Yeah. Edge is doing his best here, given the lack of audience and stuff here, but he's got that great face full of emotion, like the blokey from Scream. It then became the blokey from Scooby-Doo. And that was it, I guess.
It was all right. You know, Raw and SmackDown are weird these days because you get like 1 or 2 matches. It's very strange to watch.
That's right. And we also got Brock versus Ray from Survivor Series, which I had forgotten how good that match was.
That was a lot of fun, yeah. True.
Yeah.
Wait, did I mention in the notes about Heyman's closing promo?
That was just the promo of the night, yeah.
Why don't you take it away, Jack?
No, go for it, because I've forgotten the names that he mentioned and it's written in front of you.
Heyman and Brock close the show, and Heyman says Drew is special. But then again, so were The Rock, Hogan, Cena, and Undertaker. All guys Brock has beaten.
Ross, why did you enjoy it? Was it that? Or was it something else?
It was, what was it? It was just the Heyman, it's just Heyman, isn't it? That promo and Edge's promo were just head and shoulders above anything else on Raw. There was a story of 3 promos when it was Becky's, Edge's, and Paul's, but then Paul's was the best. That was in ascending order, Maffew.
Oh, let me write that one down.
In terms of goodness.
Yeah, and also on, I think it's just on Twitter, I'm not sure it's been on maybe YouTube as well, the Drew McIntyre Rocky IV promo.
Oh,
He's in the Scottish Isles with kegs.
More of this, please. Was that a real boulder he had in his hands? I couldn't tell.
Of course it is. Wrestling wouldn't lie to us.
It was a
Like these
perfect
people
boulder,
here,
though, wasn't
but
it?
not us.
what song plays on Rocky IV when he runs up the mountain? Is it Hearts on Fire?
No, it's...
You've done it
montage.
now! You've done it.
What was it?
It's just the montage.
Oh,
It goes Hearts on Fire, then into the montage.
Okay.
I think I'm right.
There's
God, I
another
hope I'm not
song.
wrong. I've listened to the soundtrack so many times, you think I'd know that by now.
There's another song in Rocky IV, isn't there? Like an iconic one.
All of it's iconic, mate. The entire song is... It's the best musical of all time. No Easy Way Out.
That's the one. That's the one. That's the tune. That's an absolute banger.
Living in America.
Oh, yes. Yes.
One Way Street. God, there's a lot in there. Theme from Rocky. The USSR anthem. I think we're talking about a complete bollocks right now, so I'll move on. But
it's not,
people
it's not
at
a
home,
good film, but
if you have time on your hands, and we know you do, Rocky IV, get it watched. You don't need to watch the other Rocky films. You can just watch Rocky IV.
And Street Fighter the movie.
And Street Fighter the movie, which I thought about streaming, and I realised it just wouldn't be the same unless me and you were together, Jack.
Yeah, that's right. We'll do it one day.
Damn it. Hello, Ross.
You all right?
Sorry.
So I won't be there because Ross would be like, it's a bit crap this. I'm like, no, Ross, no.
That's fine.
Don't be truthful. Don't be real. AEW. Kenny Omega has another good singles match. This time beating Trent just after the time expires.
Before time expired. Yeah, just before. Yeah.
Okay, he beats him after the match was over. What a guy that man is. And yeah, we also had the return of the mini crowds at ringside, because last week they got rid of them. They instead cut to a shot with them all backstage huddled together, and you go, I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to be how social distancing works, so I'm glad they're outside and at least away from each other. And we did get the sight of Orange Cassidy holding a sign like how Sammy Guevara's been having them on the adverts. That was just blank. Because he doesn't talk.
I enjoyed when, I think it was Cody threw his shirt at Orange Cassidy, and it took him like 2 minutes to do that and react. Little things, the little things. So good.
Also liked in that match, the Gun Club, which is Billy and his kid, that's half a pun there, I just realised. We were going, Omega, and then Orange Cassidy turned around and goes, and then, Trent.
I liked it when Omega, this is another little thing, when Omega hit the one-winged angel.
Marco stunned.
No, but he was amazing this week. We'll get on to that. But Omega hit the one-winged angel, and on the outside, Chuck Taylor just turned away. He was like, well, getting the finisher over strong. Love that. Very good.
Lance Archer has Jake Roberts managing him, and then he bounced around Marco stunned. like he was a ball in a prisoner's cell. Fantastic to watch. Margot Stunt, the role he was born to play, which is stunt bag. So,
it was so good. It was such a good... It's one of the best squash matches I've ever seen, I think. It was so much fun.
Then Jericho releases the hounds on Vanguard 1 and also taking a dip in his pool, drinking a bit of bubbly in jeans.
Everything about this was fantastic from the start. The way he pours the bubbly into the glass, you think he's going to have a nice sophisticated drink out of a glass. No, next to the bottle. As you say, he's in the hot tub with his trousers on. He gives Vanguard 1 the little baby t-shirt, and then Vanguard 1 steals it. The dogs, what a wider range of dogs he had. 2 Labradors, a golden doodle was there was a Chihuahua, and some sort of, I forget what the other one was, a little fluffy thing.
Like a Pomeranian
Lovely.
type thing?
Pomeranian thing, yeah, that was it. Aye, wonderful.
Yeah. The Pomeranian looked like his haircut in WCW 98. It was awesome.
Was it Diamond Dallas Page?
Didn't get that, but I love you anyway. Sean Spears and Sammy Guevara beat Darby Allin and Cody in the main event. And Darby Allin was thrown at the guardrail about 15 times. I did stop counting after that. And then afterwards, Darby had the energy enough to lay out Cody, who is looking more and more like Sting as AEW progresses.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's
MJF turned on him, Darby Allin turned on him, and then did the Butcher and the Blade? No, I think it's attacked him.
MJF's henchman then.
Orn's going to turn on him surely at some point.
Don't be silly. Jack, you cynic.
Okay.
And
Darby jumped off that big pole as well.
he did.
Yeah.
Anyway. Is anyone taking this as like a full heel turn? But well, not a full, like a proper turn from Darby.
No, he's just emotional.
It was just add a little bit of edge and a little bit of spice to their match next week, isn't it? Or the week after, whenever it is.
Well, if they both win their matches, they'll progress to that one. So
they're not facing each other.
No, Cody's got Sean Spears and Darby's got Sami Guevara.
Bollocks, yes.
But it seems like if they both win, then they will, yeah. So, yeah.
Mm. Also, Brody Lee is now officially Mr. McMahon. With his suit, the little references to Vince, and right now I'm not blown away by this. It's not what I was expecting from all this months of build-up. It's just a bunch of Vince McMahon jokes and in-jokes. Hopefully we move on before Player Uno starts stripping and barking like a dog.
No, but I don't get... Last week I liked it when it was just the one. You know, it was just the one and you were like, the sneezing joke, that's good. Now we can get to the proper stuff. But this is it. So, what was the Mr. Brody joke? Does Vince like to be called Mr. Vince? What's that about?
Well, he's wearing a suit and he's Mr. McMahon was the character who was on TV for years.
But they say... Someone goes, sorry, Mr. Lee. And he goes, it's Mr. Brody. And I'm like, what?
He must be like to call Mr. Vince, yeah.
And then he says, say the thing that we always say. And the dude goes, we are one. And then he goes, it's we are one. And I'm like, that's what he said. Is that a joke about how Vince forgets things? I don't know.
I think it's a joke of how the way Vince would just say the same thing would be right in Vince's head, but when someone else does the same, it's wrong in Vince's head.
Yeah,
I don't know.
makes sense.
I'm not a fan of this at all, me. I agree with Jack. Last week was fine. Nice little jab there. But, I mean, I was certainly guilty of it when Cultaholic started. I've said this in videos this week. Like, you get that bogged down somewhere and you get free and you want to stick the knife in, you just can't help yourself. And you just think, just move on. I wish I did quicker when Cultaholic started. I feel very, same sort of stuff as Brody Lee's doing here. But just move on and be a different thing, because nobody wants to just, move on from the WWE thing. Just be different. Do your own thing. Worry about your own knitting.
Yeah. Well said, Ross. Don't hit your mic.
It's a bit hypocritical of me, I know, but we got there eventually. Well, I did anyway.
But it's good that you can learn from your mistakes and know when to change in things. I mean, that's good. That's why I'll be drinking less caffeine this week.
In fairness,
and drinking more whiskey. Go on,
in
Jack.
fairness, in fact, no, I shouldn't bring it up.
Oh, go on.
Well, it's not. No, I can see why Ross was annoyed. That's all I'm saying. I can see why Ross in particular had more of a bone to pick, because it's like they didn't stop me from being called Jack the Jobber. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Let's just.
You've done it now. And NXT this week, I didn't see because I was doing stuff with Tom. So, Jack, you're as an NXT blokey. What was it like?
Yeah, it was an alright show. There was it's just weird watching NXT after you've watched Raw and SmackDown, because NXT's actually got lots of wrestling on it, which is nice. There were 2 debuts. What's he called? Sam Shaw, the Dexter Loomis.
Dexter Loomis.
That's the one.
He hasn't made his debut. He's been around for ages, hasn't he?
I think this
He
might
made
be
an appearance last summer, and then he went away. This was his first match.
Oh,
back.
right,
That
they
was
did
it.
that. We've just
Sorry,
signed nearly all of PWG thing. Yeah, I remember now.
Well, speaking of PWG, then Jake Atlas came out,
Saw
and
that.
everyone that I met, I'm in Vegas. I met quite a few LA-based PWG people, and I followed them on Twitter and stuff. They were nice guys, and they all went absolutely wild last night when Jake Atlas came out because he's like their guy. Like, it seems like Southern Californian wrestling scene's very like this is they're one of our own, they're one of us, and all that sort of stuff. And then he lost in like 4 minutes, which is a shame. But he lost. It's only just to Dexter Loomis, in like 3 minutes.
Oh, that was the same match. Oh,
yeah, it was the same match. Yeah.
Okay.
But that was all right. Let's just take a look at the rest of the notes for
Dakota Kai wins the second chance gauntlet to get into the number 1 contender ladder match until The Miz gets injured, I guess.
That was fine. She was the last one in, so Shotzi Blackheart had quite a run in the gauntlet, and then Dakota Kai sneaked the win at the end. So I'm assuming her and Tegan Nox are going to go at it in the ladder match itself, and neither are going to win.
Yay. Joaquin Wilde gets kidnapped by the same lucha folk that kidnapped Raul Mendoza.
Oh yeah, that's DJZ in it. Yeah,
It was, yes.
It's very similar to the Dark Order trying to recruit people, I think, because there's rumors that it's going to be King Cuerno from Lucha Underground, and he's collecting folk into his like Hunter's pack of luchadors or whatever. I'm a big fan of him, so I hope it is him. But yeah, he's abducting jobbers.
Can't talk about King Cuerno in years. God. Has he
I
been
like
signed all
him.
this time?
No, he signed last year, I think, and then he got injured, so it's been a bit delayed or something like that.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Honestly, I can't keep up with all the people they're signing. And then Keith Lee successfully defends the North American title against Damian Priest and Dominik Dijakovic.
Just a solid match, I suppose. I've not really got much to say about that one. But I
saw
won't
some
forget.
news about this one.
Go on.
Apparently WWE.com published a gallery or something while the match was going on. So if you clicked on the gallery at the right time, you would have seen the winner before it happened on the show. Bastards.
It's bad that Impact Wrestling did that last week.
Did they?
Did they?
Yeah. And because somebody messaged me going, like, the one person that happened to be browsing Instagram at the same time as watching Impact was like, found out the North win this match.
There's a bit of news. Kylie Ray has signed full-time with Impact. Smiley Kylie Ray. Guys,
do we know what happened with her?
Her and Tony Khan have both just said like it was amicable and it wasn't nothing dodgy happened, which does make me think that something dodgy happened, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Strange.
That's how we work, isn't it? No, it's fine. It was a mutual thing. Oh, some dirt here, lads. Like,
But if she's come out and said that it was nothing, then I guess everyone was prying a bit too much and getting involved in her personal life, and I'd have been annoyed if I was her, so I can understand why she said that.
And I think that was all the things of note that happened in those World of Wrestling. In Japan, I don't usually care about Noah,
Is
but
this
I think it's worth
Vegeta?
mentioning. It is Vegeta and Go Shiozaki. Hope I'm
Right,
getting that right.
I need to watch this match. Before you tell me what happens, was it good? Will they make it on the Wrestlers of the Week?
I haven't seen it,
Okay.
but the reaction online was worth me going, okay, I might have to watch this. It
I'm going to have to
went
watch this.
57 minutes, 47 seconds, 30 minutes of that, they stared off at each other.
What?
And I thought, is this a joke going online? And so I was like, no, they literally stared off either side of the ring and just went,
For half
the
an
camera
hour?
kept on cutting, like, then cuts to Maffew, then cuts to Jack, then cuts to Ross, then cuts to Mav, and then that was it for 30 minutes. And I was like, wow.
I don't
And apparently, because
understand.
everyone was raving about it, you go to cagematch.net and all the reviews like, yeah, man, it sounds daft, lads, but two lads staring at each other maniacally for 30 minutes is mint. And I go, okay, I might have to watch that then.
I don't want to judge or anything, but it doesn't sound mint. It sounds awful. Apparently, in that same match, I saw a gif where Vegeta drinks hand wash.
Oh, I hope that wasn't real. Hand
Okay.
wash. Because
Right.
he was like, yeah, he got it. Put it in his mouth. Like, drank a bit more just to spit it in the other guy's face.
How
I hope he was
selfish.
acting.
How selfish. At this time, especially.
Oh dear.
Disgraceful.
So that's two things we learned this week. One is you can smoke pencil shavings, and the other thing is you can gargle hand wash. Oh, a rotten week. Any other wrestling we've missed?
No, there's not been.
No, there's not.
There's been no wrestling.
That's right. And looking at my notes, gone. Next segment.
Let's have a rummage in our mailbags.
And now it's time to have a look in our mailbag. I was first putting on our gloves, of course. Question number 1. Good afternoon, gentlemen. First and foremost, thank you so much for all the content you guys have been putting out in these uncertain times. It helps everybody get through these hard times. So I've been practicing social distancing.
Sorry, the laptop fell.
Oh, I thought you heard hard times. We're going to start singing.
No.
So I've been practicing social distancing before it was cool. I always have friends over for the Big Four, and last SummerSlam, nobody showed up.
Oh.
My parents, who took a high interest to the Who's Trying to Kill Roman Reigns storyline, came over to help eat the food I ordered. During the Shane McMahon-Kevin Owens match, my dad was laughing at all the dirty heel tactics that Shane and Elias were pulling during the match. The one he got the most amusement was when Elias pulled Owens out the ring. What?
Owens, I guess.
Owens, was he in the match?
Elias was on the side, yeah.
Elias pulled Owens out the ring, here we go, which I knew was coming, but he was completely surprised by. That got me thinking, is there anything in wrestling that you've taken for granted? Thank you guys again for everything you do. Michael from Pittsburgh. Oh, thank you, Michael from Pittsburgh. Things in wrestling that you take for granted. I guess coinciding with his just happened retirement, one of Defiant Wrestling shows they did with, Martin Kirby and Will Ospreay. And that wasn't even a main event match. It was obviously like some importance, but it wasn't the main event headliner match. And it was an amazing match. But almost at the same time, I expected it to be. You go in with the attitude of, Kirby vs. Ospreay will be good. Of course it will be. It'll be a minimum of 3 stars. And, I mean, it was deservedly the fan-voted Fighting Spirit match of the year because of how good it was. But I ended up talking to somebody behind me who was going to Defiant Wrestling. That was the first wrestling show they'd ever been to.
WCPW, please.
I don't know if he were doing that or not. All right, whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
The other place, I've used to Martin Kirby. I know who he is. He's been around for donkeys. Will Ospreay, obviously an international name, New Japan and everything else. There was a guy behind me, and he went, it's really good, this. And we're like, yeah, of course it is. And he went, yeah, it's my first wrestling show I've ever been to. And it was a really heartwarming moment. The fact I remember this years later, it was just like, how nice to just discover these guys for the first time and not take them for granted like me and everybody else is. And I tell you, the really hard workers, especially in the UK, probably in the world as well, but screw them. Like Martin Kirby's just retired. I think definitely take those people for granted because guys like Kirby and Ligero were everywhere. Every show. Rampage, yeah. I mean, there's so many people who are absolutely everywhere that you almost don't think about them too much.
Yeah.
HD Drakes. So that's my nice, somber answer. Jack, what have you got?
Mine's less poignant, but that was really good, and I agree with it. But mine's, if there's a really good tag team match, like a really good one, it makes me realise that I've kind of taken tag team wrestling for granted, because sometimes tag team wrestling is really fun. And honestly, when AEW came out and said, we're going to be proper in on tag team wrestling, it's going to be a big focal point of the company, I was like, oh no. I just want to see big singles storylines and matches and stuff, because I normally prefer singles action. But when there's a really good tag match, I'm like, it reminds me, I'm like, oh yeah, I do kind of take tag team wrestling for granted as a concept. It's really entertaining sometimes when it's done right. So mine is tag team wrestling. Ross?
Mine's professional wrestling itself.
Oh.
No! Because me and Sam were sat there speaking about WrestleMania 1 and how we sort of worked it out in our heads that if that didn't go right for Vince McMahon, we wouldn't be sat here doing this, would we? Would World of Sport be a global thing that we could sit here and have a career doing this sort of thing online? Who knows what might have happened?
We'd be analysing all the territories in the NWA. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it time for Vern Gagne to finally hang up his tights in 2020?
I was just thinking, imagine how different the wrestling world would have been if Vince's big gamble WrestleMania 1 didn't happen. I bet there's a lot of people obviously happy about what might have been if that went wrong. But again, we wouldn't be sat here doing this, would we? I don't think so. Professional wrestling as a whole. We take it for granted, don't we?
No, I'd be sat here in a Nick Bockwinkel t-shirt. No, I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
I was gonna say WF got the head start on Vince McMahon going, you know what? I think once syndicated TV around the country becomes a thing, this whole regional thing's gonna go. But you're right, it could have been anybody else.
Yeah,
Bill Watts could have done it. We'd be like, Junkyard Dog. Was he overrated? All that stuff. Anyway, that's a nice one, Ross. You are right. The idea of wrestling.
Top 10 Von Erich appearances at WrestleMania.
The top 10 Von Erichs.
That's so morbid. I wish I'd never said that now. I feel awful.
Is Starrcade X7 the greatest Starrcade of all time? Anyway.
Ranking all of the territories champions from worst to best.
Remember that crappy WWF promotion they had? Let's gamble our thing on pay-per-view. Oh no. Yeah.
Embarrassing gimmicks. Hulk Hogan, WrestleCrap.
Remember Hulk Hogan? Crap. They got the show. Anyway, question 2. Happy lockdown, lads. Oh, I watched WrestleMania 19 for the first time this week. It was odd to see Triple H have a normal entrance for WrestleMania, and his ring gear was a luminous purple. Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Well, Booker T's was a lovely combo of white trunks and white boots. Is there any lovely or horrible WrestleMania / big match ring gear that comes to mind? Also, what are some condiments that you always have in your fridge / presses? Mine currently is maple syrup or Ballymallow relish. Oh, there we go. Just the content, Tracy and Ireland. Well, I knew Ballymore was going to be from Ireland before it said in Ireland, because I've been there for OSW. And the Ballymore crisp they do that you can't get in the UK is lovely, and I wish you get that over here. Anyway, thank you, Tracy, for letting me go off the rails. Well, I've got an answer, but I'll let you guys go first.
I've got a condiment answer.
Oh, go on. Really important, by the way.
I'm a big fan of hot sauce, and yeah, and my favourite of the standard hot sauces that aren't going to kill you, the nice ones, is the one. It's the Mexican one in the red bottle with the woman on the front. Not sriracha, the one that everyone else, the other one. I can't remember what it's called. You know the one I mean.
The one you put in the milk.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Video. Of course, there's just back you in the milk.
No, that was wasabi. Great times. But no, I'm going for hot sauce. And what was the proper question again? Sorry.
Any lovely or horrible WrestleMania / big match ring gear?
Oh yeah. Rey Mysterio sprang to mind there for some reason in terms of both good and crap ones because he just loves to dress up. Ross, this seems like quite up your street.
The mention of Triple H there has just got all of Triple H's attires from his entrances in my head, good and bad. The Terminator, obviously, one of the best WrestleMania entrances of all time.
Yes, thank you, Ross. I refuse to accept that was silly. That was amazing.
The one I hated was when it came to Triple H. I don't know what Mania it was, but it's when he's on the throne and he's dressed like Schwarzenegger in that. Oh, it's horrible. That I'm not a fan.
Oh wait, sorry,
really,
wait,
one?
not the 30 one.
Not 30. No, earlier.
That 30 is the ironic one. Yeah.
22 was the one I think he did.
The Conan, the Conan the Barbarian.
Conan the Barbarian. That one.
Conan the Barbarian. Yeah, because then Cena did the gangster thing with CM Punk with Uzi and Uzi, whatever gangster gun. Yeah,
Tommy gun.
No, I used the boxer. The one I was going to go with for bad, I don't know if you remember, because they even featured it on the DVD of it. Shawn Michaels finally returning to championship reigns after winning the SummerSlam match with Triple H, making it Survivor Series 2002 Elimination Chamber to win the title. Yay, the boyhood dream and all that. Wearing poo brown tights.
That's not WrestleMania.
Never wore them again. It's a big match.
Yeah, true.
It is a big match.
Apparently they weren't finished or something. I think Tom told me this. I don't know where Tom heard it from. They weren't supposed to look as bad as they did, but the seamstress had a Western Superman that day, so he had to go out with unfinished poo brown tights on.
What? How does Tom have all these Tom's in with so many figures in the wrestling business, man. Is it because he's nice and likable?
Probably.
No, he's like Littlefinger.
He's playing them all off against each other.
Exactly, and as well, all the bodies are buried. In terms of good, with Rey Mysterio, good and bad, a bad one would be the WrestleMania 21 match he had with Eddie, and his mask wasn't on properly. I think that was for the same seamstress as HBK's poo tights. But a good one, I think the gold standard for him has to be the Halloween Havoc 97, the Phantom.
The purple?
Yes. That's probably my favourite of the Rey Mysterio outfits.
I was a fan of that massive thing he had at WrestleMania. The big feathery thing.
Dominic.
Ray. How dare you speak about Dominic like that?
Big lad.
Was it like a Native American headdress?
Yeah, that
right. Okay, that's a good one. I think we've exercised this. Let's move on to the next one. Hey, Diddlers and Maffew. Oh. The Isolation Chamber made me lose my mind up in here, and I decided to do my best Britney impression by cutting off my shoulder-length ginger locks in the process. Bloody hell. So, here's the question. What are you doing these days besides putting up lovely content, and what are you going to do when freedom is running wild on you, brothers? Thank you for keeping us all as sane as possible. Best wishes from Germany. Stay safe, lads. Julian Stroh. Dankeschön. What are you doing to stay sane? That is a good question. I'm sure millions across the world are wanting to know. I've already said that I've been doing my yoga and drinking heavily. Ross, what have you been doing?
Walking. That is walking, not wanking, walking. About 3 miles a day on me one allocated session out the house. Just walking down Scotty Road and back up again, basically. That is it. Thoughts in me mind. Running wild.
See the Bladen races.
Exactly. All along the Scotswood Road. But that and Trivial Pursuit on the PS4. There's a PS4 game. Been doing that quite a bit.
Oh, right. I didn't know that.
Aye.
Because has anyone else done this? Been playing Trivial Pursuit with me mum. But it's like the 1987 edition. And things were different back then, as I found out. God, it's caused a lot of arguments. I'm not sure if anyone else has played the joys of Trivial Pursuit, but basically every game goes, all right, let me read this question. Hey, I know this one. If this one would be mine, I'd have got this one right. Oh, this one this is so easy. This is that, and yeah. So, no, just myself. Jack, what have you been doing?
My diet and exercise routine has improved since the lockdown, because I've kind of just been forced to, like, I've got a couple of dumbbells, been doing a bit of that, and just because there's nothing else to do. This must be why in America, like, prisoners are just so hench, because there's nothing else to do. But I'm not saying that I've been pumping massive iron, but I've generally been eating better and doing a bit more exercise. So that's how I've been keeping sane. But this week's been more of a struggle than last week, though, as I said at the start of the video. But yeah, Maffew, yours was Trivial Pursuit as well.
Oh, no, once only, that's it.
Oh, right, sorry.
But yeah, with regards to the diet, I realised, I'm going to have to go to Lidl and get all my stuff and keep it in the house. I realised I'm not very good at this whole doomsday thing, because then if it's in the house, I'm going to eat it. So last week was worse for me, because this week I'm realising, no, how about I don't hoard lots of stuff and crap that I'm then going to eat instead of a meal? What if I get lots of healthy stuff instead, like bananas? So I'm actually having a nicer time this week than last week.
It's a horrible catch-22 situation, isn't it? Because healthy food generally doesn't last as long as bad food. So you find yourself, I find myself buying more bad food and getting more takeaways, especially. Contactless deliveries from Deliveroo. Whoa, what an invention.
Some of the delivery, like, blokes don't obey the rules, though. Have you had anyone just hand it to you? Yeah.
I told them to put it on the floor. Walk, but I didn't really.
Oh, right. I was going to say I couldn't do that.
I had one. He was there, and I was just like, I'm going to have to take it, aren't I? What do you do in that situation?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Lay
it at my feet. Yeah, you can't do that.
Bow down to the... Bow down.
You've done it now.
Well, those are 3 good questions. It's nice to see that, at least in these bad times, the questions can improve. And so if you want to send us any of those improved questions, please don't hesitate to send them to mailbag@cultaholic.com. And sadly, that leads us to Reese's Pieces, which has been arse awful these last 2 weeks. So let's see what we've got this week. Hey, fellow isolated diddlers. Had an idea for Reese's Pieces, but you may have done it before. Here is a list of wrestlers' titles. And I want you to say the first wrestler of all time, not just current, that comes to your head when you think of that title. This is nice. I like this. I already approve of this. And this one's going to be the stupid diddler title or something like that. And all right, so as are the rules of Reese's Pieces, fastest thought first. And we'll go round with how it is when we're usually at thing, which is Ross first, Jack first, then B. Okay? So, WWE World Championship.
Roman Reigns.
John Cena.
Triple H. WWE Universal Championship.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. WWE IC title.
Cody Rhodes.
Savage.
The Honka Tonk Man.
Ah, yes, give me.
WWE US Championship.
Oh, JBL.
MVP.
MVP, I was going to say that. Raw Tag Team Champions.
Seth Rollins and his weird fetish.
Yeah, Seth Rollins, because he always has it. Yeah, I can't think of anyone else.
Weird fetish.
He always
He just
holds
wants
that
it,
belt.
yeah.
Yeah. He loves that belt.
Oh, I didn't realise that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason Dior. Okay. Raw Tag Team Champions. New Day?
Yeah. I think
Do they have
have
it?
they won it? Have they won it? Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Yes, because didn't the Bar beat them?
Maybe.
Yeah, to end the...
Bar beat them and they won Raw because then yeah. Yeah. SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Rhino.
New Day.
American Alpha. WWE Raw Women's Championship.
Ronda.
Becky Lynch.
Alexa. Play Fountains of Wayne. WWE SmackDown Women's Championship.
Alexa.
Bliss.
Becky.
Alexa, stop.
WWE Women's Tag Team Championships.
Kabuki Warriors.
Sasha and Bailey.
Yeah, Sasha and Bailey, who were still on the floor crying backstage. WWE 24 Championship.
R-Truth.
R-Truth.
R-Truth. Can there be anybody else? NXT/WWE Cruiserweight Championship.
Oh, Angel Garza, even though it was very brief.
Neville.
War Nev. NXT Championship.
Ciampa.
Balor popped into mind first there for some reason, even though he's not my favourite.
Oh, I'd say Balor as well. Yeah. NXT Women's Championship.
Shayna.
Asuka.
Asuka. Steal my stuff, Jack. Ross. NXT Tag Team Championships.
Oh, the Ascension.
The Revival.
Sin Cara and Kalisto.
What a shout.
NXT North American Championship.
Dream.
Keith Lee, I guess.
Ricochet.
Mm.
NXT UK Championship.
Volta.
Pete Dunne.
Yeah, it's tough. Volta. NXT UK Women's Championship.
Kaylee Ray.
I don't know. Tony Storm.
Nah, Kaylee Ray. NXT UK Tag Team Championship. We're really
Oh,
stretching the limit of this game here.
The Grizzled Young Veterans.
Mustache Mountain. Wait, did Mustache Mountain even ever win it? I've said Mustache Mountain now. I don't even know if they've won it.
No, they won
They held
NXT Championship.
NXT Pro Ones.
Oh, right. I'll go with Grizzled Young Vets as well then.
Can't believe you don't know everything about NXT UK, Jack. I'm going to go with Gallus because their theme song. The WWE... You've done it. The WWE Hardcore Championship.
Al Snow.
Steve Blackman.
Crash Holly. WWE European Championship.
D-Lo Mother Effin Brown.
Yeah, D'Lo, who came across on that New Jack thing as a lovely man,
Yes,
by the
he
way.
did.
He came across as... What about you, sorry, Matthew?
I was going to say D'Lo as well, just for, hey, D'Lo, did Mustafa actually smoke pencil shaver? I plead the fifth.
God's
And
sake.
Jack has died. Original WWE Women's Championship.
Ivory.
Trish.
Sable. She powerbomb Mark Mero. Original WWE Cruiserweight Championship. I think it means light heavyweight.
Jacqueline.
Gregory Helms.
Christ, who else held it? Taka. Keep up the good work, even these difficult times. Patrick. Oh,
Thank you, Patrick.
Did
Thank you.
Tiger even hold it?
Light heavyweight.
Is that a different title? No, we're talking about here.
Oh, they merged them during the invasion. They merged them during the invasion, so Tiger was before that. And then, I guess, X-Pac, because he was double champ, which means that the crowd booed him twice as hard.
Like Matt Hardy in it. Matt Hardy trying to get below the weight limit.
That's right, he had to cut weight.
That was good. Yeah.
And he cut weight by getting rid of Crash Holly.
Yeah.
Forgotten member of the V1 stable. And now we're rambling. But thank you very much for your submissions. We appreciate that, Patrick. Please, no more uppers and downers or whatever the hell that thing was last 2 weeks.
Right.
And you can't...
Beaches and settlers.
Yeah, there you go.
Uppers and downers.
Uppers and downers.
God. No pinky, no
You chat
party.
about them.
You can send this to mailbag@cultaholic.com.
It's Cultaholics.
Wow. What a great podcast. I have to do that every week now, I'm sorry. But this week's big question. Will WWE WrestleMania 36 this weekend exceed expectations? Seems almost like it has to at this point, given that most expectations are sub-zero. But there are other Mortal Kombats you can pick. So, Chad, what do you think?
Well, Johnny Cage won't be there because that's the Miz. So, I reckon that it won't exceed expectations because I reckon the matches that are set up to be good matches, like Zayn and Bryan, won't get the required amount of time. And I think that matches that people aren't looking forward to particularly will either get too much time or just be those big, ridiculous, overblown movie-style things. And I don't think, and I'm happy to be proven wrong this weekend, but I don't think these big production matches that we're assuming are going to be like given special treatment, like AJ Taker and Cena Fiend, I don't think they're going to be impressive or be as impressive as maybe. Although, why am I saying that? Because WWE's production team are insane, so maybe I'm a fool. I don't know. But I don't think it's going to exceed expectations. Maffew or Ross? Yeah, Ross.
Right, I think it will. Going off one thing we've seen so far, and that is the camera cuts and the sound effect that accompanied Elias's fall to the floor. To me, I don't know if you agree or not, it sounded like one of Bianca Belair's hair whips at the start of her theme. It was like a whoopah as he fell down to the floor somehow. So just going off that and the stupid stipulations we've got with AJ and Undertaker and Cena and The Fiend, I think it's going to exceed every expectation, but not the way WWE would like it to. I think it's going to be ridiculous, stupid. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's interesting to think of, they've had the time to... Hello, housemate.
Hello, housemate.
Hello, all right.
That's just the people there who go, Maffew, there's a burglar in your house, and he's taking your bed sheet, the bounder. Will it exceed expectations? Again, at this point, I don't think it can, because I, for one, will be hate watching it, because I have sod all else to be doing right now. I've been Doom Eternal, as I've said, and I'm too tight to pay for Animal Crossing just now, so yeah, I will be watching it. I hope it's going to be good. I will go with the opinion or the outlook that I will enjoy myself, the bits that will be good. But at the same time, you're right. Maybe it being all in post will mean that we'll get the worst of Kevin Dunn. Yes, I actually have expectations for the Firefly Funhouse and the boneyard match of Skeller violence and what the rest is going to happen. It's all the other normal matches I'm worried about. Are we going to get even more cuts? Are we going to have edited audio? Are they going to put this over Cena's mouth so we don't hear the spots being called?
Is Goldberg going to retain?
Is Goldberg going to retain against an unknown mystery opponent?
Yeah, he is, yeah. Yeah, he's going to retain.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, all those questions we answered. So the bits that we don't think are going to be good are going to exceed expectations. The bit that, and vice versa, can't be asked saying the other bit again. I think that's pretty much what Ross said, but I don't have any original thoughts right now.
Yeah.
No, it was yeah.
Has anything else been said about that rumour that they're going to have like fan reactions dotted around the screen? Did anyone see that?
Jesus Christ.
Because if that's not there, WrestleMania will have already exceeded my expectations, because I hope they don't do that.
That can't be real.
I don't know
That's
who
what
said
happens when you get a Game Boy game and put it in the Super Game Boy for the SNES.
Is it?
Whoa.
Why did I say that? On this audience.
No, it's fine. That's all right.
Wait, where's the buzzer? Sorry, lad.
should we end by saying what we think our match of the weekend's going to be?
Yeah, let's
do
be
that.
positive at
Let's
least,
go
because,
on. Let's do that then. Go on.
Go
Someone
on, Jack,
else.
you go
Someone.
first.
Oh no, I haven't thought.
Oh, I've thought of one, and it's never
I've
mind
got one.
Zayn and Bryan and all that technical whatnot and blah blah. It has to be Ziggler Otis.
Whoa!
It's the match with the most heat. It's a match I want to see. Otis just beat up. There's something about Ziggler that's very beat up-ish.
I'm not ready for it, me.
Are you not?
No, I think the no audience thing is going to play into Ziggler's hands. If the audience was there, they were going to give us a big old WrestleMania moment with Otis and Mandy necking on, like Christian and Trish Stratus maybe, but good people, not bad people. But I think the no audience plays into Ziggler's hands. I think he's going to get a big win.
Do you not think that the lack of audience is actually going to help Ziggler, because he won't have any women to hit on that's in the crowd, and he won't attempt any stand-up if there's nobody there? Sorry, that's $2 million a year, Ziggler. I forgot about that joke. Ross, we just had you. Jack, what do you think?
No, I'm still not. Didn't you have one? I was still thinking.
Okay, back to Ross then.
I want to go because I think, obviously, because of Kevin Dunn, I think that the Fiend and the Boneyard will be ruined, but in the best way, in a very funny way. So I'm going to go, right, for Bobby Lashley against Aleister Black. I think this will get half an hour, and I think Aleister Black... I'm going for it. I think Aleister Black will come out on top, an absolute barn burner. Just let the two lads go out there for half an hour and wrestle. Make this match that doesn't have a storyline, just steal the show. Go on.
It's going to be like the Vegeta versus Go Shiozaki of WrestleMania.
Nice. Wait a minute.
Yes.
Am I being silly here, or isn't Bobby ill, or was he ill after they did the match? Or
I can't keep up,
It's just like...
I've got no idea. Can't keep up.
No. All right, no. Okay. Be great. It's like, that's going to be the match tonight. Doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Now, some other guy on NXT last week to replace him. Right, that's a formula. All right then, Jack, you've had like 15 minutes to get this answer prepared. What's going to be your match of the weekend?
Either Rollins versus Owens, or Becky versus Shayna, or Drew versus Brock. I'll go Owens versus Rollins. Owens and Rollins is the one.
I'm glad you're not hedging your bets, like. Cool. And how will you be watching it? Another weird question.
On the WWE Network. Yeah, we're reacting.
Yeah, I'll be watching it live, yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Will you be doing the frame where you're all around? There's like 16 Rosses all around the frame.
I think we'll keep it a lovely surprise for the viewers.
Oh, it's not tempting easy.
Yeah. But we are going to be doing reactions videos. And I think...
two different streams of reactions. We've got cut down edited stuff coming out next Monday for night 1, next Tuesday for night 2, and then Pachiti is live streaming both nights on YouTube.
What, he's going to put WrestleMania on YouTube?
No,
it's a good way to make money, actually.
No.
If you want company watching WrestleMania, set your laptop down next to you and put Adam Pachiti's live stream on, and he'll sit next to you on the sofa.
I reckon the Pachiti's live stream is going to do serious numbers, because I reckon loads of people will just want to watch it with someone, and he's going to end up pulling in like a serious crowd. I think he's going to be under pressure. Loads of eyes on him. I'm scared.
Cat treats everywhere.
Yeah, Mr. Happy.
Dreamies.
Wish I had a cat. I'm jealous, to be honest.
Yeah, so I can't have a cat in here. Devastated.
I thought you were more of a dog person anyway.
I am, but I would feel bad having a dog with how I work and how it is. You're out the house for 10 hours a day.
Yeah, that's very true.
Cats can fend for themselves, can't they? Can they? I don't know.
Yeah. And it's just as well
Tigers
because
can't.
Pachiti's cat is going to need to fend for itself because of how scared Pachiti's going to be when that bone match comes on. Ah!
What?
Why would he be scared?
No. I'm so scared I've dropped my phone.
That's a weird Pachiti impression, that. Everyone's got one, but that's
I can't really do his voice
one.
that well, to be honest
That's
with you.
a strange one.
Just all nasal.
Yeah, but you still had the depth of your voice. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, good.
I can't monetize this. Okay, on that note, that will take the piss out of the guy who pays our bills. I think that's everything we have time for you this week. Thank you very much for listening and letting us into your lives just that little bit. You've been watching the lovely Ross on Wrestling, the amazing
Thank you.
Jack the Jobber,
Cheers.
and mediocre Maffew.
Oh.
at the end of the podcast, we usually like to put our hands in the middle of the thing, but obviously it's a bit hard. So what we'll do is try and put it there. You can, like, we're reaching out and touching faith. If you'd like to join in, you can. We can't see you, but you can feel free to. And on the count of 3, we'd like to go say join us. Almost forgot. 1, 2, 3. Join us.
Join us.
Hey.
Sweet.